The Alliance of Opposition Parties in India, called INDIA, will submit a notice for a no-confidence motion against the ruling Indian government during the monsoon session of Parliament. They aim to make the Indian Prime Minister speak in Parliament on the devastating Manipur violence, which has wreaked havoc in the northeastern Indian state since the beginning of May this year. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Ms. Neerja Chaudhary, who's a political commentator and a senior journalist with over 3 decades of experience understanding Indian politics. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. Ma'am, right to begin with, what is a no-confidence motion, and whenever it takes place, what will be the next obvious steps that we will see in the Lok Sabha?
See, the no-confidence motion is the measure by which anybody, a member of the Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament, can move a motion of no confidence against the government of the day. And if it is carried, then with a majority, then the government has to resign. So this comes in, no confidence motions are not moved very frequently. They are a rare phenomenon. Of course, any Lok Sabha member can move the motion, has to be backed by 50 other members, and then it is up to the Speaker of the House to decide whether he or she accepts it and then fix the date and time when it would be taken up in the House for discussion and voting.
Right. Now, coming to what is happening currently, now the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge said that 83 days of unabated violence in Manipur requires the Prime Minister to make a comprehensive statement in the Parliament. Now, is the no-confidence motion being held to corner the ruling party, or is it to improve conditions in Manipur? How do you see this panning out?
I think it's a bit of both, because what has happened in Manipur has been very worrying and painful, particularly the sexual assault on women, them being derobed and paraded in the streets, the ethnic clashes between the two communities, one in the hills, the other in the valley. So it has upset people all over the country, not just in the northeast of India. It would have been a very simple thing for the Prime Minister to have spoken for 10 sentences, reached out to the people of Manipur, asked for peace, and the whole situation would have got diffused. But for some reason, he's not done that. And people say he doesn't want to do it under pressure of the opposition, which has made it also a kind of a prestige issue, that we will not accept anybody else but the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister did make a very brief statement, but he did it outside the Parliament building rather than doing it inside the Parliament House. So now, yes, if the motion is accepted, then the opposition parties from this new alliance called India will obviously speak on Manipur, and the Prime Minister normally replies to a motion like of no confidence because it is against his government. So he will be compelled also to speak. Now that may be the purpose. It is certainly to corner the government, but it is also stems out of concern about what is happening in Manipur, which is now not limited to Manipur alone, but will have ramification for the rest of the northeast of India.
Right. Ma'am, that exactly brings us to what I wanted to ask you next. Now, it's been nearly 3 months since the violence in Manipur erupted. I wanted to ask, if it continues unabated, what kind of impact will it have on India's national security? Because, of course, these are really border regions, and also internal security, because it can spill, and it is spilling into other states as well.
Look, northeast of India has been in the past a very turbulent area. And you're right, it's on the border of India, and therefore could have national security implications. China is not far away. There have been insurgencies in the past in many of these states. And if the people of the Northeast feel the rest of India doesn't really care about them, and 3 months is a long time for the violence to go unabated and for the state government and the central government not to be able to control it. Now, therefore, I think it is, and remember this also, this is an area which is where what I call the brown races, which is the heartland India, and the yellow races, which are, in the rest of Southeast Asia, they mingle together. So it is a very important reason from that point of view, because it is also a gateway to India's gateway to Southeast Asia. And the kind of relationship we have with these countries is also determined by what happens in the Northeast. So I think that Manipur and already people in other states in the Northeast, Mizoram is very disturbed at the moment. People in Nagaland are talking about it. That why is the central government allowing this to continue and has not done more? Does the rest of India really not care about us? I think that feeling must be dealt with and quick action is called for. I would say even an all-party group of MPs to go there to, bring down the temperature. And certainly in Parliament, well, Parliament is on for the government to make a very comprehensive statement and for a discussion to be held. These are the very minimum things that should be done.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. That was Ms. Neeja Chaudhary joining in and sharing her thoughts on what happens next after the no confidence motion is passed and regarding the resolutions regarded for Manipur.